Everything changed in a matter of seconds. Welcome to NFL Nexus. I'm your host. Before they unravel one of the most critical, high-stakes turning points in modern football history, look, I need you to subscribe to the channel, like this explainer, drop a comment with your thoughts down below, and hey, really support our deep dives by becoming a channel member today. Okay, done? Good. Because we are plunging straight into a situation that is literally keeping an entire front office awake at night. We're talking about the Houston Texans and their impending 2026 season. You see, this is no longer just another year on the schedule. This is a terrifying make-or-break reality. The future of a franchise, a looming mega contract that could easily eclipse $250 million, and the legacy of a once-generational quarterback, they are all balancing on a razor's edge right now.
Last year was the hardest year of my life, just sitting out of football for a year straight. I really want you to let those words from wide receiver Tank Dell sink in for a second. This isn't just a standard press conference quote about missing a few games, you know? This is a raw, agonizing look at the immense emotional and physical toll the recent past has taken on this entire roster. We are talking about shattered bones, shredded ligaments, and a creeping doubt that can infect a locker room like a virus. The Texans haven't just been battling opponents on Sunday. They've been battling a relentless wave of attrition that completely stripped them of their identity. And nowhere, absolutely nowhere, is that loss of identity more shockingly apparent than under center.
Section 1. The Fall from Grace and C.J. Stroud's Regression.
Now, in the NFL, we're kind of conditioned to believe that when a young quarterback flashes greatness, the trajectory is just permanently pointed upwards, right? We think the arrival of a franchise savior is a done deal. But you put on the tape and you look at the undeniable reality of the last 2 years, and it tells a much, much darker story about C.J. Stroud. How does a player who made the NFL look effortlessly easy suddenly look so incredibly, painfully mortal? Let's dive into this and look closely at the microscopic details of this statistical collapse. Because as a rookie in 2023, Stroud wasn't just good, the guy was historic. 4,108 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. He went over 191 pass attempts before throwing a single pick, and he actually broke Andrew Luck's single-game rookie record with 470 yards. But then the foundation cracked. Defensive coordinators across the league, they started adapting. They began disguising coverages, specifically rotating safeties post-snap just to take away his primary reads. So in 2024, the yards slipped to 3,727. The touchdowns fell to 20. The interceptions skyrocketed to 12. And if you thought, hey, maybe that's just a sophomore slump, well, 2025 was a brutal, undeniable nightmare. Barely crossing the threshold with 3,014 yards and just 19 touchdowns. We're looking at a multi-year erosion of production here. This wasn't a blip on the radar, folks. This was a slow-motion collapse of one of the league's brightest young stars.
And it all really culminated right here. You see the 2023 Offensive Rookie of the Year, a player who honestly operated with the poise of a 5-year veteran. But then you have the absolute lowest point of Stroud's young career, the 2025 playoff disaster. In 2 postseason games, he combined for a staggering 5 interceptions. 5! Against the New England Patriots, under the freezing lights of January football, you know, where legends are supposed to be forged, the magic didn't just fade. It completely vanished. The Patriots' defense deployed these complex, disguised bracket coverages that completely short-circuited Stroud's processing. He completed less than 43% of his passes in what was just a soul-crushing loss. The processing speed, that quiet confidence in the pocket, the pinpoint accuracy, it was all just completely gone.
Now, what's really interesting here is this single terrifying number, 31%. This right here is the micro detail that single-handedly doomed the entire Texans offense. As a rookie, Stroud was an absolute elite sniper down the field. He completed nearly 59% of his throws of 20 or more yards, throwing 8 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. 0! It was a superpower. It literally forced opposing safeties to play impossibly deep, which opened up the entire intermediate level of the field for his receivers to just feast. But over the last 2 seasons combined, that deep ball accuracy plummeted to a shocking 31%. Defenses started utilizing inverted cover 2 schemes, basically daring him to force the ball into tight windows. And that flawless touchdown-to-interception ratio, it flipped to a catastrophic 8 touchdowns and 10 interceptions on those exact same deep throws. The throws that made him special, the throws that forced defenses to respect the entire field, they were just no longer viable.
Section 2. Rebuilding the wall and fixing the protection.
So you have to ask yourself, where did the talent go? I mean, a quarterback doesn't just forget how to throw a football overnight. To understand the regression, we really have to look at the root cause of the collapse. Stroud's arm talent didn't vanish into thin air. His physical protection did. The pocket, that sanctuary where a quarterback absolutely must calmly process chaotic defensive coverages, it became an absolute war zone. And this is the butterfly effect in the NFL. The Texans made a seismic front office decision to trade away elite left tackle Laramie Tunsil. The immediate result of that? In 2024, C.J. Stroud was running for his physical survival on 38.6% of his dropbacks. That was the fourth highest rate in the entire league. Think about that. You cannot smoothly step into a deep throw when a 280-pound edge rusher running a 4.5 40-yard dash is violently hitting you in the chest nearly 4 out of every 10 times you drop back. No way. It completely rewrites your internal clock. It forces your eyes down to the rush instead of scanning downfield. It creates a state of sheer panic, causing a quarterback to abandon clean pockets and throw off-platform purely out of self-preservation.
Just look at the visual proof here. In 2024, Stroud was sacked 52 times, the second most in the entire NFL. Think about the physical toll of 52 car crashes over a single season. It's brutal. But the front office desperately scrambled to structurally repair the damage. Last season, in 2025, they slashed that number down to just 23 sacks. Through aggressive free agency acquisitions and the rapid development of their interior linemen, they essentially cut the pressure in half. The wall was finally rebuilt. But the psychological damage to the offense was already done. The ghost of the pass rush lingered in Stroud's footwork, and more importantly, Stroud was still missing a vital piece of his weaponry to make the system operate at full capacity.
Section 3. The missing explosive piece and Tank Dell's heroic return.
A quarterback needs time, yes, for sure, but he also needs an open target he inherently trusts. During the franchise's darkest moments over the last 2 years, Stroud was operating without his most dynamic, chain-moving weapon. He was operating without Tank Dell. We need to methodically walk through the horrifying, relentless sequence of trauma that Tank Dell has endured, because frankly, it is nothing short of miraculous that he is even stepping onto a football field again. Let's start in December 2023. His brilliant rookie season is abruptly ended by a fractured fibula. Then, early 2024, he sustains a gunshot wound. Unbelievable, right? He fights his way back for the 2024 season, undergoing intense rehabilitation, only to experience a catastrophic, career-threatening event in Week 16. During a touchdown reception at Arrowhead Stadium, a defender rolls onto his leg, and his knee essentially explodes. We are talking about a torn ACL, a torn MCL, a torn LCL, combined with a full dislocation. It is one of the most devastating, excruciating lower body injuries a skilled position player can face. The sheer volume of surgeries, the thousands of hours in the lonely, quiet confines of the training room just learning to bend the joint again, it's unimaginable. This sequence of horrors robbed Dell of his prime, forcing him to spend the entirety of the 2025 season trapped on the physically unable to perform list. He just had to watch helplessly from the sidelines as his quarterback struggled.
But the tide is finally turning. In the 2026 OTAs, Tank Dell made a defiant return to the practice field. And he isn't just jogging on the side. He has resumed high-speed running, sharp cutting, and is actively taking reps against starting Texans defenders. He declared himself ready. But the tension here is absolutely massive. Dell is 26 years old. His rookie deal is expiring after this season, and the Texans hold his exclusive negotiating rights until March of next year. This entire season is a high-stakes, make-or-break audition for a life-changing contract. He has to prove to the entire league that his surgically reconstructed knee can withstand the relentless violence of the NFL.
And this brilliantly illustrates the fully loaded arsenal the front office has now assembled around C.J. Stroud. They have left absolutely zero excuses on the table for the passing game. I mean, look at this. You have Nico Collins, locked in and highly paid as the alpha receiver on the perimeter. You have Tank Dell returning to his explosive route-running mastery in the slot. You have Jaden Higgins entering year 2 after a highly impressive rookie campaign where he put up 525 yards and 6 touchdowns, showcasing a massive catch radius. You have Jalen Noel, another second-year weapon who added nearly 300 yards with his sheer, unadulterated speed. And you have the veteran safety blanket tight end Dalton Schultz, who serves as the ultimate pressure release valve. The weapons are entirely restocked. The offensive line is fixed. If Stroud is going to prove he is a top-tier franchise quarterback, this is the exact, finely tuned group he needs to do it with.
Section 4. The hidden roster danger and the RB3 battle. Look, football is an incredibly fragile ecosystem. You can fix the passing game, you can rebuild the wall, but there is a looming, heavily overlooked threat hiding deep on the depth chart that could single-handedly unravel this entire 2026 season. It's a danger most casual fans ignore until it's far too late: the running back depth. Let's expose the immense fragility of this backfield. David Montgomery is your RB1, a tough, physical runner who will shoulder a massive load. But he's in his early 30s now. That's an age where running backs traditionally fall off a steep statistical cliff. The tread on the tires is wearing incredibly thin. He actually missed games in both 2023 and 2024 due to accumulated physical punishment. And behind him is Woody Marks, your RB2. Now, Marks is an excellent change of pace back, catching passes out of the backfield, but he has a significantly smaller frame. Last year, despite playing 16 games, he was repeatedly subbed out in the middle of contests with minor scratches, bruises, and lingering physical concerns. If you are relying on an aging veteran and an undersized backup to survive a grueling, hyper-violent 17-game gauntlet, you are playing with fire. Because if the run game falters, the entire playbook shrinks. The play-action pass dies. Opposing pass rushers just pin their ears back, ignore the threat of the run entirely, and boom, CJ Stroud is right back to running for his life.
And that is exactly why the battle for the RB3 spot is not just some boring training camp footnote, it is the vital safety net for the entire franchise. On one side, you have Jawhar Jordan. He proved he can be a reliable emergency option when he erupted for 101 yards on 15 carries against the Cardinals last season, coming directly from the practice squad. He showed burst and vision when the team needed it most. But he's facing a fierce, high-stakes battle against the rest of the field. We're talking players like British Brooks or hungry undrafted free agents fighting for their professional lives, guys like Noah Whittington out of Oregon and Joshua Pitzenberger from Yale. These guys are clawing for a single roster spot in scorching training camp temperatures. And hovering above all of them is the very real possibility of the Texans dipping into the veteran free agent market to find an insurance policy, just like they did when they brought in Nick Chubb in the past. Whoever wins this RB3 battle might literally end up carrying the absolute fate of the offense by Week 12 when the inevitable injuries start piling up.
Section 5, a make-or-break season where everything is on the line.
Okay, so let's bring all of these explosive narrative threads together. The 2026 season is not about development anymore. The honeymoon phase of the rebuild, it is completely undeniably over. This is the ultimate, high-stakes, proving ground for the Houston Texans. There's an exact, non-negotiable formula this team must execute to survive the AFC bloodbath. Step 1. The offensive line must prove that last year's massive reduction in sacks wasn't just a fluke, and that they can consistently keep Stroud clean against elite edge rushers. Step 2. They must seamlessly integrate a healthy Tank Dell back into the offensive rhythm without suffering any devastating setbacks to his surgically repaired knee. His burst off the line of scrimmage is absolutely crucial to unlocking the deep passing game once again. Step 3. They absolutely must secure that vital running back depth to ensure the offense doesn't become utterly one-dimensional down the stretch. And Step 4. Stroud must master year 2 of offensive coordinator Nick Calley's system. He isn't learning a brand new playbook this year, which means the training wheels are entirely off. Under newly promoted quarterbacks coach Jerry Shuplinski, who has expressed full confidence in repairing Stroud's lower body mechanics and eye discipline, the mental processing just has to be absolutely flawless. So, here we are. Everything is finally aligned. The weapons are there, the protection is fixed, the systemic continuity is in place, but the pressure is absolutely deafening. CJ Stroud is staring down the expiration of his rookie deal, demanding to prove to the entire football world that he is worth a guaranteed contract north of $250 million. So the monumental question that will define this franchise for the next decade remains, will this perfect storm of returning talent finally secure CJ Stroud's monster extension and ignite a legitimate Super Bowl push, or will the brutal regression prove to be the permanent reality? We are about to find out. Keep your eyes locked right here on NFL Nexus as this unfolds.